Welcome to Sparkling Memories, a place we could build healthy relationship with food pairs and yourself. And today we're going to take a little trip and get to the supermarket, get all the necessities we need to make. Today we're actually going to be doing some turkey neck. It's not something that I'm used to, so I'm going to have my husband show me exactly how to go about getting the dish together because this is a regular dish for me. So it's going to be a lot of me assisting him versus y'all just seeing me do the dish. So it's going to be a little different. It's not going to be boring, but you get some insight as far as when it comes to stewing things down and the ingredients you're going to get started with. Very simple, not nothing too complicated. By the same token, you might already have these things in your house, and you probably need a couple of spices that you might not already have. One thing I do love is my adobo. My adobo with the salt, it has a red cover. It's very easy to use with different dishes. So this is what we're going to be making today. Yep, turkey neck stew. Not something I'm used to, so I'm going to have him show you exactly what some of the ingredients would be. We have the first one, tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, thyme, ginger, garlic. In the bowl, we have carrots and potatoes on the bottom. It's also being incorporated within the dish. So we already have things that go aside of it. We have the bananas and we have some pumpkin. We already season it, I let it marinate overnight. Simple stuff. Now here we're gonna actually pour in the brown sugar. At the bottom it has the oil, vegetable oil, and that is the brown sugar that's currently going inside. We tend to have to shake it around because it has to get nice and incorporate. But if you pour in too much at one time and you don't shake it around, it tends to burn in the center. What thing you want to do is have an even amount. That's why you shake it because it's gonna caramelize and you don't want it sticking. That's why you put in the oil before. Because if you try it with butter, it's not gonna have the same effect. Then it will kind of look like this after it's been shaken a couple times, and then it's gonna bubble up. Of course, it wasn't enough sugar, so we added more. Now the next stage I'm gonna show you. See, gotta make sure it's in there and it's completely over the pot because if it's in one area, it's gonna stick and burn. It's slow process because it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the size of the pot, how much oil you put in, how much brown sugar. In just a few minutes, we're gonna see exactly how it looks. Bam. See, it's now separating from the oil and it has a nice different texture. All of that is just oil and brown sugar. See how it's bubbling up? That's the consistency you want to look for before you start adding your turkey necks. And you be careful for it not to burn because a lot of people they just put it on and expect it to caramelize on its own. This is something you have to watch in order to get that caramelized because the sugar is going to separate from the oil. But you want to get it thick. So when you put in your turkey necks, it actually gives it a nice color. It's not going to be fully cooked, but the color is what you want to get at this time. Yep. Let's stir it around. You see how it rises from the oil? Because of course, you know the brown sugar and the oil is not going to mix properly. So you know at some point the sugar is going to give on a different texture versus if you left it on by itself, it's going to get burnt. And that's what you don't want to do. So when it looks like this, then now is the time to add your turkey necks. And chop them up like how you would see mutton. So it's be a little bit easier. We have the bone in the center and then you have the meat around it. This part is going to go pretty quickly because it's going to look like it's fully cooked, but not quite. Because with all that brown sugar and that oil, you got to do some tossing. You're going to do your stew. You got to do this step. If you skip this step, it's not going to have the color and consistency you're looking for. And just toss it around. Some of the seasons would be adobo, some paprika, some chipotle seasoning, and some homemade season. One that's a little different that you make yourself. So you always want to add your own stuff, not just the things you see in the containers to make the seasoning. It's good to try something different. Now, here we're going to add the thyme and the onions and everything we saw on the red cutting board, from the ginger, the garlic, the bell peppers, the onions, and some tomato. That's if you want to have it a different type of color. You might want to put on that Sazon seasoning, but not for this. This one it requires that. It's going to have its own color. Here we have some of the barbecue sauce because we have to get a sauce to put on to the turkey neck because it does have color, but you need more sauce because of the amount of it in your pot. So now everything is incorporated, and we're just going to add the sauce we currently made. It has in barbecue sauce, bourbon, some ketchup, and some water. And then it will look something like this. You let it cook, and then you can always have the preservatives, all the different provisions you make with it. Here we have the turkey neck and others.